हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू डगआउट डिस्कशंस। और हम लोग वापस आ चुके हैं और एक एक्साइटिंग एपिसोड के साथ। आज बात करेंगे चैंपियंस लीग और बाकी सारे लीग्स के बारे में। काफी एंटरटेनिंग फुटबॉल हो रहा है बाहर, और बहुत दिन बाद हम लोग फिर से फुटबॉल के बारे में बात करेंगे। आज हमारे साथ रोहित दा है और शाग्निक है। रोहित दा, मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड काफी अच्छा भी खेला और और कुछ दिन पहले मतलब क्या बोलते हैं, मतलब 1-0 हार भी चुका है वेस्ट हैम के अगेंस्ट में। क्या बोलोगे आप? मिक्स फीलिंग, मिक्स्ड इमोशंस है।
सो आइडियली अगर तुम देखोगे कल जो टीम फील्ड किया था ओले ने, सो दिस हैज बीन लाइक अ रेगुलर सिनेरियो अभी ओले के लिए. वी हैव बीन गेटिंग नॉक्ड आउट ऑफ दिस कप्स एंड लीग्स क्वाइट फ्रीक्वेंटली, most likely because of the fact that our bench strength is not up to the mark. Like if you see yesterday's match, Manchester was really poor, to be honest. Now I do understand the presence of Ronaldo has been a blessing to us, and in fact he's been in superior form, but the only problem is he will not play in every single game. You have to also learn to play without him, like we have been playing in the last few seasons. And in fact, you have a good deal of strength in your team as well. Because अगर तुम देखोगे मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड का गेम्स अगर तुम फॉलो करोगे, तो then I am pretty sure that you must be going ahead and like seeing that this team has been doing better. I mean, like I won't say excellent, but even without Ronaldo, they have been doing great in the like in the last couple of seasons. But my point is, right now we are getting overtly reliable on Ronaldo. That is one problem, because अगर तुम कल का stats देखोगे, there are a total of 27 shots which were taken, and out of those 27 shots only 6 were on target. So this kind of proves that we are not able to bring the efficacy. I understand that Cavani is not fully fit. I understand that Rashford is not fit. It is okay. I mean, like, it's completely understandable. But the thing is, you will not always have your first team players playing for you. That is exactly where Ole will have to come up with a backup strategy. Ole is no doubt an excellent man manager, but see, a manager has various aspects to his career. It's not just man management that wins him trophies. You also need to look into the technical side, and if you follow Manchester United's games very closely, ever since Ole has arrived, the technical aspect hasn't really been great. In matches where Bruno Fernandes or Paul Pogba and now Cristiano Ronaldo has delivered extraordinarily, we have won those matches. Where these three players, or rather, let's just leave aside Ronaldo right now, where Pogba or Fernandes has failed to deliver. I mean, he couldn't really come up with a solution. He really couldn't come up with something out of the box. Mason Greenwood has been a silver lining, but other than that, I kind of believe that other than that, I personally believe that somewhere or the other, Ole is lacking his techniques. So that is something that will has to be worked upon.
एग्जैक्टली रोहित दा, और जैसे कि है रोनाल्डो केम बैक टू मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड आफ्टर सो मेनी इयर्स एंड इट्स लाइक ही नेवर लेफ्ट. मतलब वो गोल स्कोरिंग स्प्री में जाते ही रहे. और आई थिंक द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ रोनाल्डो इज काफी इंपॉर्टेंट यहाँ पे, जहाँ पे मतलब लिंगार्ड को हमने देखा कि व्हेन लिंगार्ड स्कोर्ड एवरीवन बैक्ड हिम अप एंड आस्क्ड हिम टू सेलिब्रेट. वो एक मोमेंट बता रहे कि द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ रोनाल्डो एंड प्लेयर्स लाइक वरान हु आर सीनियर्स इन द टीम, जहाँ पे ये जूनियर जो यूनिट है जैसे कि मेसन ग्रीनवुड, जैसे लिंगार्ड, इन लोगों को ये गाइड कर पाएंगे और ये मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड टीम एक अच्छे यूनिट की तरह परफॉर्म कर पाएगा. और जैसे कि रोहित दा बोलते हैं, और रोहित दा को मैं सुनते आता हूँ जैसे कि एक पॉडकास्ट की तरह बोल रहा है. आई एम वेरी इंटरेस्टेड बाय द वे रोहित दा स्पीक. बट एनीवे, वी आर वेरी हैप्पी विद द वे थिंग्स आर प्रोसीडिंग इन मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड. मतलब if not Solskjaer, there is no one. I think Solskjaer is the man for Manchester United. ये ups and downs आते रहेंगे, but I think Ole is the man for Manchester United.
ये बिल्कुल. चैंपियंस लीग का पहला मैच भी हार चुके हैं वो लोग, मतलब यंग बॉयज के अगेंस्ट में. पहले लीड कर रहे थे, फिर उसके बाद फिर हार गए. मतलब उधर भी रोनाल्डो ने ही पहला गोल मारा था. तो थोड़ा सा देखना पड़ेगा. तो एकदम थोड़ा बाकी टीम्स के बारे में भी थोड़ा बात कर लेते हैं, प्रीमियर लीग के बाकी टीम्स के बारे में थोड़ा सा. लोगों का चैंपियंस लीग परफॉर्मेंस भी डिस्कस करेंगे.
Before you go ahead, मैं just एक ही चीज बोलूंगा शाग्निक को. What since you mentioned Lingard, the thing is Lingard has been in brilliant form ever since his return to Manchester, but sadly, he needs someone, who can show him the way, who can go ahead and guide him, right? And that is exactly probably where Ole will come into the picture, because Lingard, if you give him that talent, he is a dynamo. He's a pocket-sized dynamo. But the thing is, in order for everyone to flap their wings, there is someone or the other. Like, for example, let's say Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, when he arrived from Lisbon to Manchester United, he was no doubt a sensation. But Sir Alex Ferguson was personally there to guide him to the gates of glory where he was there. But at the same way, if we have to look for Lingard, we'll need someone who can guide him. With proper guidance, Lingard can be an asset to the club in the near future. Same goes for Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood is a future star. He's an ambidextrous footballer. If you actually look at his style, बहुत अच्छा dribble करता है. You hardly see strikers dribbling these days. That is why I love, in fact, especially the game against West Ham, जिसमें Manchester जीता Premier League में. That was the best match of Manchester United in the Premier League. The way they played, the way the fluidity that was there in the midfield. अगर तुम पोग्बा को देखोगे, Paul Pogba, the way he played, he was electrifying. And Manchester was playing excellent one-touch football. As soon as West Ham got the lead, United responded not just in equal measures, but in a notch higher than what they did previously. I mean, it was an absolute treat for the eyes. Ronaldo up front, Pogba, Fernandes, Mason Greenwood in the middle. I mean, that is what Manchester United is supposed to be, not what they have been in the last couple of years. And I'm going to again reiterate this: the impact of Ronaldo is going to be massive. Not because he's a god level player. We all know that he's a god level player. We all know that he's a goal scoring machine. But just one thing, अगर तुम follow करोगे United के last कुछ season, especially under Ole, Manchester has created a lot of chances, but Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, and at times Mason Greenwood as well has failed to convert the chances. अगर तुम UEL final में भी देखोगे, Manchester got almost 3 1-on-1 जहां पे Rashford ने score नहीं कर पाया. That is exactly where Ronaldo comes in. Because if Rashford keeps on, because you give those chances to Ronaldo, he is going to score 3 out of 4 occasions. And that is what creates the difference. This is why this Manchester United is an extremely dangerous side. Now coming to your word, Deeptayan, like you just said, Manchester lost their first game. I completely understand that Manchester lost their first game, but again, try and understand. They are a good team. They are a heavyweight team right now. We can tell it that. We can say that. However, mishaps do happen, but that doesn't define the entirety of the tournament. If you remember, Juventus went down against Atletico Madrid 2-0, right? And almost everyone thought that it's impossible for Juventus to get through to the next round because there was a man called Diego Simeone who's a mastermind at defending. But then again, at the other end, there was a man called Cristiano Ronaldo who he confirmed that they go through. So it is just the first match. I know a lot of things went haywire, but this is exactly what marks the rise of a champion. The rise of a champion doesn't happen on a bed of roses. It happens in flames. It happens in ashes. You will never call someone a hero if that hero hasn't faced difficulties. If a hero has just come smoothly sailing through, he will never be a hero. Like, every hero has their downfall. And remember one thing, the nickname of Manchester United is comeback kings. Or agar tum dekhoge, Manchester has made comebacks from even worse of situations. I know, like, you see, try and understand, like, Manchester United is also one of the most hated clubs in Europe. That is because of the popularity that they have built. When you have ample hatred, you have been striking a few right chords. And that is what Manchester has done. So let me be honest. I understand there was a defeat against Young Boys, and probably it was the easiest game we had in our fold. People may keep on saying that, now big teams are coming up, Atalanta is coming up, and it's going to be difficult. Believe me, Manchester United, without Ronaldo, without Cavani, without Varane, went ahead and defeated, even without Pogba, went ahead and defeated PSG. So believe me, this team can, and that was under the tutelage of Ole. Rashford scored that last minute penalty, if you remember. So believe me, this is football, right? This is football. And we all know what Billy Shankly has said. Sorry, not Billy Shankly, but Sir Alex Ferguson has said. Oh, bloody football. So let's just say that this game is not over until that final whistle goes. And definitely, not over until Cristiano Ronaldo says it's over. That's the first thing. Now coming to the performance of the Premier League. Well, I must say that the other teams were pretty decent, especially Manchester City. But that was one hell of an encounter. I mean, 9 goals. Nobody thought that Manchester City will walk away with the bragging rights in such a dominant fashion, but they did. Well, they had fortune on their side because a player from Leipzig was given the marching orders, and well, these are crucial moments. Another significant match, and I must say, it was one beautiful match. That was Liverpool versus AC Milan. I mean, that was. It reminded me of the 2006 UCL final where Liverpool came down from a 3-goal deficit to go on to win the Champions League. So believe me, this game was beautiful. I mean, both the teams, they had a lot of attacking intent on their side. Nobody was willing to back down. Everybody kept on attacking. Liverpool went up. AC Milan came back, went up. Liverpool again equalized, went up. So that's the beauty of football. That's why I said, oh bloody football. I mean, this game will keep you hooked to your seats till the last moment. Even in a game where an opponent is scoring a 10 goal, like has a 10 goal dominance, right? So even in a game, let's say where an opponent has been scoring 10 goals, let's say an opponent is leading by 10 goals to nil, since we are all from the sporting backgrounds, as we mentioned, like even if a team is leading by 10 goals to nil, and if that opponent goes on to score that one goal, I will not say that changes anything, but believe me, that does a lot to improve the confidence. So in a game of football, you in a game of football, you do not write off what is going to be the fate of the game. So that's probably all from Premier League, I guess, in the Champions League. Now coming to the other teams, as you wanted me to say, well, there were a lot of good games, to be honest, especially the games. Okay, I missed out I missed out the defending champions, Chelsea. They had a hard-fought victory, but they had a victory nonetheless. Well, but honestly, again, it was not the same Chelsea that we know them to be. But again, at the end of the day, what matters is the result. Like, we have seen games where opponents have simply just bowed out, but then in the dying moment, they have managed to score. So that is exactly what matters. And that is what Chelsea done. Now, coming to other performances that were actually lopsided, I'm going to go ahead and come to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich literally demolished Barcelona. I do understand Barcelona hasn't got anything right now going their way, and they'll have to wait almost a fortune to go ahead and uh, complete a full rotation, bring in what the team used to be a couple of years back when Messi was there. Right now, they are not even in the shape. So as expected, Bayern dictated the shots. Another very interesting game was Villarreal versus Atalanta. They played out a 2-2 draw. And one thing that will really be bothering Villarreal is the man called Francis Coquelin, who was given a red card almost in the dying embers of the game. So again, like I said, the group for Manchester United is going to be a high-scoring game. Well, only if Manchester could have managed to draw, a lot of things could have changed. But again, the thing with the group stages are far from over. It's just one game. And we all know, in fact, if we go by the likes of the opening games, Manchester defeated Leipzig and PSG in the last time's group league games, and yet they couldn't cross the group league. So believe me, a lot is remaining, and we are still to see it. So things have just begun right now, but that is all that I'll go ahead and tell you about the Champions League at the moment. That's all. If you have any other points that should be mentioned, you can definitely say.
तो रोहित, जैसे कि आपने मेंशन किया बार्सिलोना के बारे में, so we'll move on to the La Liga, जहाँ पे we see कि I think Real Madrid have reinvented themselves under Carlo Ancelotti. 21 goals this season. Karim Benzema in excellent form. Camavinga, the baller, is there. David Alaba leading from the back, and obviously, ये Marco Asensio scoring a hat trick. I mean, when have we seen Asensio score a hat trick in the last season? I think Real Madrid players are just playing a level above themselves under Ancelotti. What do you think?
I completely agree with you, Shamni. Ancelotti is definitely one of the best tacticians I've ever seen. People may not like him, people may blame him, slam him as much as they want, but when you come to strategies and tactics and game reading, Carlo Ancelotti is one of the best. And the best part is he's previously been a part of Real Madrid and he knows how things work. When you are a part of these big games, a lot goes on in the mind. It's kind of a war. It's not just played out on the field. A lot of war goes on in the nerve, right? And that is where Ancelotti is a pro. And he has a boatload of youngsters at his disposal who are, if not the best, but are electrifying. And the addition of Edward Camavinga has just made this Real Madrid team a very vicious contender for the title. We all thought that probably Real Madrid will not be performing like they used to, but believe me, this team is completely a revamped team and they are supposed to do better. And now coming to the likes of Karim Benzema, he's a pro at goal scoring. I mean, that's what he does. That's what his living is, right? Like, I'll name a few players who comes at a different level altogether when they come to this club level. For example, Gonzalo Higuain. He was not that sensational for Argentina, but when he came to his clubs, let's say Juventus, Real Madrid, he knew his stuff. Similarly, Benzema is someone who knows his craft inside out. He knows the only job he has up there is to score, 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 score. And that's what he does. And like I said, and Real Madrid already has a tremendous midfield. I mean, you got to give them that. I know people are, see, honestly, if you actually look at the fans supporting these teams, they previously used to support for the likes of Ronaldo and Messi. But if you actually see Real Madrid, they are far more than Ronaldo and Messi. They have got the likes of Valverde, they have got the likes of Rodrigo. And on a very honest note, I am really loving the evolution of Vinicius Jr. I told in one
Exactly.
of the previous episodes, Vinicius Jr. is an extremely dynamic footballer. Now, you need to understand there is a certain level of difference in coaching between Zinedine Zidane and Ancelotti. Ancelotti has always backed young talents. Ancelotti has always backed in building a team. He has backed in creating strategies. Zidane was a man who had a fine team at his disposal. He had Ronaldo, he had Ramos, he had Pepe, and everyone was in blistering form. And that is exactly why I'm going to tell you this. This is the subtle line of difference that Real Madrid missed in the last season after Ronaldo left. Without Ronaldo, Zinedine Zidane had no clue of what to do. And that is where the problem lies. That is where like all the problems started coming in and Real Madrid started faltering. However, now with Carlo Ancelotti at the helm of affairs, believe me, this team is going to work out wonders. They have got an exceptionally well built team. They have got a very good reserve at the end. And I am pretty sure that they will be fighting for the title in this ongoing season. And most likely, their solitary competitor will be Atletico Madrid because they are a good team to look out for. They have got a great coach. And I personally believe that the only team that can defeat Real Madrid is Atletico, but that's all that I would talk about Real Madrid. And also, since we are talking about La Liga, I guess we all would like to listen about Barcelona. But I would like you to take the lead in this, and I'll continue once you're done.
I think they played out a 1-1 draw with Granada. And I think Barcelona is in a phase of transition, and their fans have to be like patient here. I know their fans
I,
were like
I
when
am
Bayern defeated them 3-0, their fans were like, we did not expect better. I think they don't expect anything out of Koeman, that Koeman will make them win trophies. They just want Koeman to take them through the transition phase. I think this is what Barcelona fans expect, and this is really demoralizing. The fans of such a big club expect that they just go through the situation. It's just good enough for them. That is what I was saying.
let me just tell you one thing. I'll just give you an example. So, as you know, that I have my heart for Manchester United. There was a phase when Alex Ferguson left and David Moyes took over the reins, and we had players like Marouane Fellaini, who was our best player. You do understand, right? Right now, when we are rooting for the title with players like Ronaldo, Greenwood,
But
Bruno Fernandes, Varane, Maguire, there was a point in time when For one season, Smalling was the best player, and for another season, Marouane Fellaini was our best player. And for the next season, when Moreno took over, we literally had to pin our hopes on an aging Matic, right? So
And
there is a
coincidentally,
phase.
both teams had Memphis Depay. I think this is a coincidence, or does Memphis Depay just end
So
up
the
there?
thing is, right now, I won't say Barcelona is in a phase of transition. They aren't.
Hmm.
They have just started a decline. This may be very sour to a few fans, but that's the truth. That's a sour truth. They have started a decline. Right now, they'll need a man to arrest that. And Ronald Koeman is not the man. Believe me, he is not the man. If there is someone who can arrest the downward momentum of Barcelona, it has to be someone who has got experience. Antonio Conte would be a better manager than what would I say? Than Koeman, maybe even Maurizio Sarri because he left Juventus. But I don't see Ronald Koeman arresting this downward slope of Barcelona, and they will need good quality players. They have got the likes of Dipe, they have got the likes of Griezmann, but I'm pretty sure, I guess they even left Griezmann, right? Griezmann returned to Atletico, if I'm not
Griezmann has
mistaken.
returned to Atletico Madrid.
I'm sorry. So that right now is an entire void. They have nothing. They have absolutely nothing. They have the likes of Pedri, yes. They have the likes of Jordi Alba, yes. But Barcelona, we are used to seeing players like Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, and I mean a lot more. Thierry Henry, Ronaldinho. I mean, they were the golden days. They were the trendsetters. They were the trailblazers. Everything has been falling apart, and this is a part of the game. This is a part and parcel of the game which we'll have to accept. We aren't accepting that. I understand the expectation of fans. We want things to change. I'll tell you why exactly. Because as a fan, if you are a football fan or if you're a fan of any sport, when your team goes through a downward spiral, with all the success, with all the relative success that they have got over the past decade and the past years, there is always pressure of oppositions. Oh, your team is not performing. Oh, I feel so sad. And there's a boatload of memes and everything hurting you. Like, believe me, there have been nights, especially in the last year's UEL final, when Manchester lost.
To
The
Villarreal.
preceding year's UEL, I guess even in the last year's UEL final as well, semi-final when Manchester lost, I cried, I punched walls, I banged my head in desperation, in frustration, because I had nothing to do. I didn't know when was this pain going to end. Everyone was pointing fingers. Everyone said that, oh, your team, oh my God, they're down. That's what a fan goes through. A true football fan knows the emotions. A true football fan knows what goes on in your heart. That is why Barcelona fans are demotivated. They haven't got anything in them. They want their team to, fight back. And this is the most challenging state. This rise. Once you have risen to the top, no one will look at the struggle. Everybody will say, oh yeah, this is the best team, this is the team that we were looking for, we are back, this, that, blah blah. But it is difficult to stick along when your team goes through a transition. And that is what Barcelona is going through right now. They're in a dark phase, and fans will have to accept that. There's no other alternative. There's no other alternative, because you do not simply win football overnight. It's impossible. Even Sir Alex Ferguson, the most successful coach in the history of Manchester United and European football, needed 3 years to turn the fortunes. He was on the brink of losing his job when he defeated Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup game that saved his job, right? So you have to go through that transitional phase, and that is exactly what Barcelona is going through. I feel bad for their fans. I understand that it's a tough phase, but they will have to go through this. Only and only through the flames shall you rise. That's what a phoenix does. They burn down in ashes, and that's where they have their rebirth. And I'm pretty sure Barcelona will overcome this phase too.
Since Rohit, since we were talking about Barcelona, let's just get back to one of the stars of Barcelona who had left his home to find a new home at PSG. And I think he is not yet settled in PSG. What are your views about Messi performing like this? Even we saw a
Good
meme
question.
where Messi is being taken off and his emotions he's showing towards Pochettino, and people are saying that Pochettino will be out because of the decision of subbing Messi.
Okay, let me just make a few things clear here. We are
Hmm.
all. Let me just give you one heads up. I mean, the team that Pochettino has is this reign. I previously said that this PSG team can implode because this is not Pochettino's style. This is not Pochettino's style. We have seen Pochettino at Spurs from very close range. He is a man who believes in promoting young footballers. He is a man who believes in building a team of youth and then going for the title. But the thing is, PSG has given him everything that you need as a coach. But what they haven't given him is a chemistry. I'll tell you why. So let's say PSG needed a late goal from Achraf Hakimi to win their last match, and that's kind of challenging. And that too, Mets had one of their players given and marching orders. So Achraf Hakimi scored in the 95th minute after Dylan Braun was given marching orders in the 91st minute, right? And that's kind of a shame. I mean, because teams like PSG, who has got everyone on their side, are supposed to demolish oppositions. They are supposed to what? Score 5 goals, 6 goals. That is how they are supposed to do. But they are unable to do that, right? And they are also not able to field the likes of Ramos. They are not able to field the likes of Donnarumma. And this is what is leading to a lot of friction in between. Talking about Messi, Messi style is not what PSG plays. PSG is a much more attacking team wherein they play a lot of long balls, as I've already mentioned in previous episodes, because they have got Mbappe up on the front, and Mbappe is a blistering guy with speed, right? Now, Messi is someone who creates the game, who takes the ball in the lower half and starts dribbling past, creates the ball. If you ask Messi to send in a long ball, a long, lofty ball for a player who's rushing forward, he won't be able to do that. I mean, of course, he will be able to do that. He's the god of football. But if you ask him to do it on 10 times, he'll probably be successful 2 times and he'll be failing 8 times because that's not his style. So that is one of the reasons why I personally feel that Messi is still to click, but again, you cannot write them off. They are legends of the game. They are greatest of all time. They are goats. I mean, they can change the game at any point in time, right? Because we have seen Messi doing it previously. But again, I will still say this PSG team will need a lot of time. They will have the problem of plenty. They have a lot of players, a lot of stars on their side, but they do not have a chemistry as of now. And they'll need this chemistry to happen. If they have to
Exactly.
win,
And
they'll
then
need that chemistry to happen. And that is only when will this they will start firing at their best of goals, because they have a lot of players in their in their bench which they are unable to field. And that is what is leading to problem, because you are playing Neymar in the middle, wherein that's supposed to be Messi. Now, if you play Messi in the middle, then Neymar goes to the left, right? If Neymar is going to the left, then Icardi doesn't get a space. Now, Neymar and Mbappe both are left wing players, right? As in, like, they are left strikers, right? However, if you put Mbappe on the right, he's a good player. I won't say he's not a good player, but at the same time, his strength is in that left wing. So that is where the problem is. You are taking in players like, for example, I already mentioned the defensive chemistry between Kimpembe and Marquinhos in the defense, right? Now you take them off, you bring Ramos. He will not click out with Marquinhos or with Kimpembe, because Kimpembe is a man who believes in just stopping. He's a rock in the defense. He'll stop anything you throw at him. He's an excellent blocker. He's an excellent challenger. He's got great physicality. Now, Ramos is someone who loves to go up. Now, what eventually happens is Marquinhos is almost a player of a similar stature. Now, Marquinhos can actually go ahead and play like Marquinhos and Kimpembe, they complement each other. Like if someone is playing a bit higher line, the other comes down in the middle. But Ramos is going for goals. If you bring in Ramos into the picture, he's going for goals. So that leaves Kimpembe or Marquinhos, whoever is the other man, alone. We have not seen him tested in alone situations. So that is where things are going to unfold, and Pochettino will have to find a way to balance it. Otherwise, this new edition of Los Galacticos that PSG wanted to build will be going down in flames.
I think the missing piece to the puzzle is Gareth Southgate. I want him in as the coach of PSG. He already has the experience of the problem of plenty.
Honestly, if someone can make this team function, most likely, probably it will be a bit outrageous of me to say this, but most likely it's either going to be Maximiliano Allegri or Zinedine Zidane. Zidane has an experience with stars and he can make things work. And Allegri has previously managed several stars and he knows how things can work. And if you want this team to implode even faster, just bring Mourinho in. He's going to make the team implode overnight.
Exactly. There will be fights all over the team if Mourinho comes in. Anyway,
I still remember. I don't know whether you remember. There was a scene, I guess, in last year's Premier League or the one before. Apparently, I forgot the name of the player who had to rush to the loo in between the match, and Mourinho started running behind him, and it happened on a live match. So I'm pretty sure if Messi has something to say, that why are you not fielding me or why are you subbing me, I'm pretty sure Mourinho will come up with his animated expressions like, I'm gonna throw a bottle at you. What? More. I don't know, but yeah, that's a story. That's all.
Exactly. Okay, we'll move on to the Bundesliga. Obviously, the main teams there are Bayern and Dortmund. जहाँ पे Erling Haaland is firing the guns yet again. Another season, another match, and Haaland is now a player who has more goals than matches. I think it's 68 and 67 or something. I'm not exactly sure about the statistics. How do you feel about Haaland still choosing to stay in the Bundesliga?
I'm pretty sure he won't be there next season because he's going to get offers from Manchester United, and United is hot on the heels of Haaland. He's going to get offers from Chelsea. He's going to get offers from Bayern Munich. And believe me, if
obviously that's the same old story.
Any of these teams land up, especially Bayern, they already have the likes of Lewandowski. They already have the likes of Serge Gnabry and a lot of stars on their side. It's going to be devastating. The young kid is absolutely brilliant and he means business. He absolutely means business. He's a prolific goal scorer. He knows the goal beautifully. He's a very physical player. He uses his physique to perfection. And guess what? He is very, very young. Believe me, his best is still to come. Most likely, I am looking forward at another Cristiano Ronaldo or Zlatan Ibrahimovic in the future.
Exactly, and I think Bayern is even has a 7-0 or something victory in the last match they played.
Well, Bayern keeps on doing that. I guess right now it's kind of become like my FIFA manager mode. So I'm gonna tell you one honest truth. So yeah, they defeated VfL Bochum 7-0. Bochum or Bochum, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. So I have a version of FIFA 2008. So in my FIFA manager mode, my Manchester United has got the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney, Ronaldinho, Sergio Ramos, Gary Neville, Rio Ferdinand, Anderson, Carlos Tevez, Dimitar Berbatov. Exactly. So that's what Bayern is right now. They know no stopping because they are technically a very superior team, and they have got the coaching of Julian Nagelsmann at their helm, who's a brilliant coach. He's an absolutely brilliant coach, and I would love to see him in Premier League someday because he's a great tactician, and what he focuses on is physical football. That has been Bayern's style. And if you actually look at this team of Bayern, they have been very dominant. And if honestly, if you look at Bayern of the previous decade, they were very much focused on the likes of two of their wingers, and that is Robbery, Arjen Robben and Frank Ribery. They used to pull off daylight Riberies, but right now, if you look at them, they have got excellent players in Serge Gnabry, Leroy Sané, Leon Goretzka, Joshua Kimmich, Robert Lewandowski. Whom else do you want? And right now, I'm pretty sure they'll be going for the likes of Erling Haaland in the next season. So that is something, this is something which is absolutely crazy. And believe me, they do not go for stars. If you look at their team, they do not go for stars. They go for future prospects. They go for players who have shown excellence in intermittent bursts. That
They
is what makes them
basically just
special.
take the team from Dortmund and create their team next season. They basically
You
just
can, you
take
can
stars from Dortmund and create their team.
I mean, again, Dortmund, on a very honest note, Dortmund on a candid note. I once did an article. I remember it was probably one of my best articles. 10 players that if Dortmund, if they wouldn't have released, what would the team have looked like? So I'll just name you the players, a few of the players: Pierre Aubameyang, Henrik Mkhitaryan, Robert Lewandowski, Mario Götze. I guess still there are a couple of more names I forgot. So I mean, this team would have been absolutely unstoppable, untenable, right? No one could have stopped them. No one. The only weak link in the Bayern team was their goalkeeper, Roman Weidenfeller. Like fella is still aging, and I don't know whether they'll ever find a proper substitute for Roman Weidenfeller. But that's the only weak link in in Dortmund team. Right now, I still believe. Well, they have kind of proven to be the. So I still remember how I named it. I named it as the breeding ground for monsters. Like Jadon Sancho, Manchester snapped it up. Bayern has been snapping up players, and right now, pretty sure Haaland will have a lot of suitors next season. He's not going to stay in
Hmm.
Dortmund after the next season because Dortmund will have to do a good deal of job to keep Haaland at their head because he's already proven his worth and he's firing on every single day and night. So things are going to get worse for Dortmund if they let go of Haaland, but that's the game. But I'm pretty sure they'll come up with a proper replacement because they always have. They have left their best of players. They still have managed to find replacements. That's the beauty of Dortmund. That's why I love that team so much. They have that hunger, they have that famishness to prove themselves. That is what makes Dortmund Dortmund.
Exactly. And finally, moving on to the last league that we'll discuss, which is Syria. And Juventus have finally, I don't know what, I think they're sitting in the 16th position of the league table. I think. And when it seems like Inter Milan and AC Milan are finally finding themselves again. Inter Milan have also let go of most of their stars, and still they've found replacement in Edin Dzeko, and the team is gelling up quite well. What do you think
Yeah,
about the Syria? Right.
I have been saying this over and over again that football thrives in chemistry. You bring no matter how many stars you bring, if there's no chemistry, there will be absolutely nothing for you to go forward with. Teams like Inter Milan and teams like AC Milan, they have built this chemistry. I mean, specifically AC Milan. I mean, that team is so underrated these days. And I know, I mean, like they were a star at one point in time. They had a lot of stars, but I would still say they have got a few players who makes an amazing chemistry, especially the likes of Romagnoli, Gabia, Benacer, Tonali. At the same time, Brahmin Diaz and Ante Rebic. I mean, this is a good
Man, yeah.
team, and I'm pretty sure that they will be a team to look out for even in the Champions League. And same goes for Inter Milan. I know that they have let go of their stars, but they had a backup created already, and they know how to make things work. And that is what has been so brilliant from these two teams in the last two seasons, right? And right now, talking about one and one team, since you mentioned Serie A, and that is, I believe, the top of the table. I mean, that's Napoli, the team that Maradona made his home, and we have forgotten the team for a long time. But they are back to the hunt, and I am pretty sure I'm going to tell you this big time that they have a wonderful team that is, at their disposal. Because the first name that I will like to mention is Koulibaly. He actually fell from the
Koulibaly,
grace
exactly.
after Messi did a lot of things against him, and he was not able to contain Messi. But he's an excellent player. Same goes for Lorenzo Insigne and Politano. I mean, they are absolutely brilliant players at the game, and I'm pretty sure that they are going to be much more fierce as the league progresses. So this Serie A is going to be interesting. It
Even
won't be a
Morino is
one
there
side.
in AS Roma.
Well, it's definitely not his third season. The course remains in the third season. He's always brilliant in the first and the second season. So I hope that he can pull out a couple of good performances. But yes, this time Syria is going to live the beauty of Italian football. So I guess Shagnik, that's all. I mean, that is all that's gonna happen from this episode. So guys, again, we are gonna use those 3 magic words. A request to all of you: please, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Please, 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 please hit the share button if you want to, and please click that small bell icon there at the below, which will help you to subscribe and give you the latest updates. It's again an honest request. Support us as much as you want. We know that we aren't the big shots of this thing, but we are trying, and I'm pretty sure we'll be bringing you a lot more of these interesting contests and the content from now on. That's all from our end tonight, and that is again me and Shagnik, and definitely the guys behind the camera. Special mention to them as well. We will be signing off for tonight, and good night to all of you. But please, 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 again, pretty please, please keep us supporting. That's all.